What up, boys and girls? I think Smitty's having some technical difficulties. That's why we're getting going a little late. As you can see, he's not here yet. But I want to get the slate broke down because I kind of like this slate, even though it's big. I tend to prefer, personally, a little bit smaller slates. It fits my style better. But I like some of the matchups today. So that's and we're seeing in projections kind of where I thought stuff would go. Some of the guys early I was hoping would stay down and crept up a little bit. But some of the other guys I wanted to come down have. So that's a good thing. Shota's finally up to like 10%. So I'm probably going there with Shota today. It's just a good spot for him. St. Louis K is enough for me. I like I see, they got Herrera hitting. They just put their lineup out. So I'm okay with it. I get like these guys aren't crazy cares, but Shota's just been magical this season. And I think there's an opportunity to play him and combo him with somebody else that nobody else is willing to do. I loved Gallen early. His ownership's doubled since I wrote my article, which is kind of sad. I think he's one of the best values on the slate. Again, he's 10-3. I don't think anybody's going to pay up for two pitchers today. So if you want to listen, you got to sacrifice some bats to do it, but nobody's going to pay up for a Shota Gallen, Shota for, Burns. And I'm not really on Burns today at bang for the buck. I don't hate it now at his ownership where we're currently landing. And we know that Sox lineup isn't good, but I just, there's other pitchers I like. I like their matchups better. For me, the next tier down, I like Verlander. His ownership's come down, which is fantastic. I like the under in that game today. So it leads me towards Verlander a little bit more. I like the least of these mid-tiered guys. Darvish is probably my least favorite mid-tier versus the Yankees just because, man, at any given day now, they can just, Soto and Judge can just ruin your day. So I kind of like that spot for them, looking at that. And then, it's the late game. It's West. I don't know. They're not there. And I'm just always worried they can break the slate any day. I like Scott. I just wish the Giants K'd a little more, but that kid has the stuff to really change a slate. Hey, Smitty's working. So, all right. I'm talking about pitching.
Okay.
So I was just going through some of what I like today, and I'll start back up at the top for everybody. I'm not that far in yet. All right, let's go the pricey three: Shota, Gallen, Burns. Where are you falling with those three?
I like Burns and Gallen the most. Just their matchups.
All right, I'm on Shota. I'm gonna ride that train until he proves me otherwise. He just hasn't. I get he's due for a regression game, but and they're pricing him there, but the total's 8 in that game. I'm indifferent on the ump. It favors hitters a little. I'm not 3. I'm just not going to put in 3 max. I'm not getting there with Burns. If I was playing GPP, I'd be all over him. And I just got literally to the next tier. I got into for me, the next tier is Verlander, Darvish, Scott, Sanchez is kind of the next tier for me. I'm sad Sanchez's ownership is creeping up because I really liked him low owned this morning. It was way prettier. But I kind of thought that would happen. I don't use my least favorite. The Yankees can kill him at any time. I like Scott. I wish the Giants struck out a little bit more. And I'm just not scared of this Rockies lineup, man. I get they're in Colorado, but man, go look at their K rates. And Sanchez has got the stuff to keep it down and get them there. So, and if you go there, for me, it'll help. If you want to go up to Shota, it'll set it off. I also, like I said, I'm probably that next year. I'm probably Verlander, Sanchez, Scott, Darvish in that order for me today.
Yeah, I like that. I don't really like Darvish today. I do like Ober a little. I kind of like Ober and Braxton Garrett as my value starting pitchers.
Yeah, now when we get into the bottom tier, it's Braxton for me. Like if I'm gonna not pay today, like I'm gonna go to Garrett and no one's playing him, but I want both sides. I also like the D-back side. Um, no Logan Allen love today. Absolutely not. I'm the dead opposite. Like I want to play the Angels against him. Like I think the lineup they're gonna throw out, they tend to, Adele, Ward, Pilar, Ohape, like Luis, even like those right-handed bats, like kind of hit lefties pretty good. I'm not going to Allen today. I want nothing to do with him. You got to use him in all GPP.
No, probably not. I do like the other pitcher in that game a little bit. I like getting some Sandoval.
Yeah, I can again definitely see that. 3 max were limited, so I'm keeping my pool smaller. Yeah, but same for me. If I'm dropping in the pay, I like Garrett. Nobody else down there really gets me excited. If you want to get like wild versus ownership, where are we at right now on stack ownership? Let's see where I'm giving it an update here in the projections. No, I'd probably help if I only showed the main games, got the turbo off. Right. So the leverage point but I mean, it's playing with fire, right? Is, go throw Graham Ashcraft in Great American Small Park for $6,400 versus the Dodgers and hope and pray like somebody else takes over them like a movie Body Switch. And but his ground ball and fly ball rate had been good. He made that adjustment on the mound. He moved, sides of the rubber. And he's had some decent metrics. So listen, if you want to leverage weird cheap spot based on ownership, for me, it's throw Ashcraft against the Dodgers, but that's even too far for me.
Yeah, it's a little crazy, but I mean, he's probably in the pool. I think I'd rather go. Well, I say that, but I don't know. I think the bottom range is pretty gross aside from Garrett.
Yeah, it is. And I like on the opposite, like I want to attack like Urena today. I want to attack Paxton today. I don't hate, like I don't want to throw Ross, but I like the under in that game today. But Philly's going to end up owned, right? They're in Colorado. Ty Block scares no one. So, and then I don't want any of the other, I don't want any Rondon. No Cutter for me versus Milwaukee. No Mikolas. Ugh. So, like that's kind of where I'm landing on pitching.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Yeah, that just for me, that's just a good spot. All right. Let's go. We'll go to lineup. We're getting a decent amount of lineups. We're okay. We're getting in there. Let's show main. So I'm on the Reds. I think Paxton has been the luckiest pitcher in baseball. And the fact nobody walked last game for Cincy is just like against him is nuts. I get he's had, a couple back-to-back games now, but they have the second highest, walk rate versus lefties in the last 15 days. I'm just going to count on them seeing him twice, getting him at home. And I really like the Reds bats. I like that middle spot. I like Fairchild through Espinal. That's kind of where I, go there. And if you're really desperate for a salary saver, you can punt to Hurtubise, but I'd rather go Fairchild up top and get the bigger at bats.
Yeah, I like both offenses in this game. I do like Fairchild leading off. That kind of makes me feel a little bit better about the Reds, but I've been attacking Paxton pretty much every time he's pitched. I don't plan on stopping, so I'm going to go there, and I'm going to have some Dodgers against Ashcraft. It's just a really good game environment.
Yeah, I mean, it's again that I like the Dodgers there. You can just only get to so many. So, right, that's just the issue with them. I like Big Pete at home today. He's my moonshot. I think he's going yard. hurts me to say against Harrison, but I like Pete. I really don't want access to anything else there. And I'm not interested in the Giants side today.
Yeah, same here. I don't mind a few one-offs from the Mets side, but given the park and decent pitchers on the mound, I don't have a ton of interest.
I actually like the next game a lot from batting, right? We got all that wind in Minnesota. It's blowing out a ton. Jose Urena's on the mound for Texas. I like all the lefty bats. So I'm really going top 5 there for Minnesota. I haven't got them right in a game that I've personally played. I've said to play them right on 2 days and then not played them. But man, Julian, Larnach, Kepler, I like that start. I hate that Vasquez is catching. Like that's the only bummer for me, man. I really wanted Jeffers, versus Urena today. But that top 5, I definitely want some access to versus Urena.
Yeah, I think the Twins look pretty good. They're affordable too. They don't have anyone over 5K, which is pretty nice. As far as the Rangers, I don't have a ton of interest. I'd be more on the Twins side of it.
Yeah, same. I'm definitely on the Twins side. And you can mix them with Cincinnati kind of nicely and get some other couple big bats in. That's more a question for you. There's a lot of red when you look at that Red Sox lineup, man. Like a lot of red and a lot of boxes for me. I'm not going to the Red Sox today. What about you, buddy?
I don't mind the top part of the lineup, or I guess using the bottom for some value, but it'd be mainly the top 5 guys. And then I guess if you wanted Smith, but I don't really like using my first baseman spot on someone like that.
Yeah, same. First baseman's too value. And I like to avoid bullpen games. I've never done personally well against them. And I don't love Cutter today, but I don't hate him. And Milwaukee's been a little hot. I like their lineup. I don't love their lineup today. So I'm just not going there. 11 game slate. There's other spots I like.
Yeah, same for me. I think Cutter's pretty good.
What do we think for the O's and the Sox? There's, opposite of the Twins, the wind's blowing massively in there today. But again, Chris Flexen scares no one. There's just other bats I like today for me. If I lose because I didn't play him in 3 max, then I lose.
Yeah, I don't mind getting to a little bit of O's. And I'm more on the pitcher, though. I'm more on Burns. I don't really have any interest in the White Sox.
Yep. You want any Cubby action today versus Mikolas?
Not really. I think they've been pretty dreadful lately. I kind of like avoiding them still.
Yeah, me too. Where I stand on Shota. Which if he does make my SE, which there's a good chance, I'd say 60%, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Will be his game. He finally gets some regression. If I don't throw him, even though the cards don't KO K10, like that's what the cards do to me. I just don't ever listen to me about the cards. I never get them right.
Yeah, the cards have been kind of decent lately. I don't mind getting to like a little bit of exposure, but I'm not going to probably have any stacks. But Mason Wynn, he's pretty good to fill the shortstop position, leading off, cheap. I like filling the shortstop with the value bat when I can.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Like I said, I like that as well, leading off. The other spot for me is this game, but right, and this is where talk about wins 3,300. Tovar's 4,500 today for the Rockies. I like the Sanchez side. That Rockies lineup is a hot mess. It's Coors. Philly's going to be owned, and they should be versus Ty Block. So if I went there, I'm probably going to go like Bohm, Real Muto, maybe Sosa. Like give me a small side where I'm not fully stacked in that game, and hopefully I get them right. If I'm always torn on the first game at Coors.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough one. The Rockies have used a ton of their bullpen lately, which makes it harder, but I'm going to be underweight on Philly, specifically as 5-man stacks. I'll
Yeah.
I'll have more mini stacks than 5-mans.
Yeah, so we're seeing that on the same page. And then I want none of Logan Allen versus Angels lineup. Give me the righty bats I talked about. That we don't have the official lineup, but they're righties they're projecting. I'm not really on Cleveland. I don't like, especially that bottom. Manzardo hasn't hit yet. The kid has a ton of potential. He just needs more at bats. And that they got a decent K rate today, short of J-Ram and Naylor. And Jimenez, I can see why you like going to Sandoval today.
Yeah, I don't really have a ton of interest in the Guardians. Like I said, I like Sandoval. I do like the Angels as well. Pretty much all of them are just so cheap. They help you fit expensive pitchers in or another expensive stack in. So I like going to them today.
And they've made us a bunch of money, so I like that side. I'm just for me, I'm really probably going to be on Cincy today, and count that Paxton's been so lucky. Yeah, I agree, Dev. I mean, it's just the right environment there. So listen, I get the winds blowing out, all this, the public's all over Oakland, Houston, right? I just like fading the bats in this game and going to Verlander. That's my spot I like in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I don't really ever target Ross Stripling. He's kind of one of those like bend but don't break type of pitcher. So I don't really like going there. I don't hate running some A's against Verlander, but it's not really a priority. It'd mainly just be as a cheap value stack.
Yeah. So, and then I want both sides of this Marlin D-back game. I want the D-backs bats. I like Marte a lot today. I like Christian Walker today. I like Grichuk today. I like that top half of the lineup. I mean, Moreno's only $3,300. Blaze, is 35. Newman's 29. Like you can fit some nice stacks with the D-backs. I also don't mind going to Garrett at $5,800. But there's also a reason he's $5,800 today.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of like both sides of that game too. I don't mind getting to some Diamondbacks, specifically probably the cheaper ones. And then I don't really plan on getting any Marlins. I lean more towards the pitching in this game.
Agreed. And I like Gallen. So, be tough to be a Miami Marlin. And then, this last game of the night, decent weather. I'm not a Rodon fan. Just 2-pitch pitcher doesn't do it for me. I don't really know the lineup yet. This isn't a game I'm going to try to get late pivot. That's part of the reason I like the D-backs is late swap for me, right? That we can kind of look at. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said I haven't made up my mind yet, Dev. I like him, but I'm definitely watching the weather. So, like I said, I got to really see that Baltimore thing kill me early in the week because I didn't, I didn't get the weather. Well, I didn't hit, but I also didn't get the weather right. So, and then again, Soto, Judge every day. They're priced accordingly. Nobody else in that lineup, Torres finally isn't hitting like a donkey anymore, but I don't love you, but I don't hate you today. This is just kind of whatever game for me.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I don't mind getting to some Yankees as leverage bats, but I think both pitchers are okay enough, and neither team strikes out, so I don't really love either pitching side of it. It's just kind of a wash for me.
Same. That's like I said, that's where I like the D-backs for a late pivot. You can also use the Angels on that late pivot side, right? So if you're using some of the earlier games, like I said, I'm probably going to Reds and then have some late pivot options, and I'll for sure do one. I'm not final on there yet. All right, we got a question here. Let me look at it. I haven't looked at it a little bit. Let me look at some money movement. Games. Today, well, it's not the highest total. So Dodgers Reds are 10.5. They're 9.5. Looking at my money movement right now. Publix on Boston and the over, which would lead me Milwaukee in the under. Like, there's a lot of games on this slate. Like, this isn't a spot I feel like I need to slam. I'm not just like, hey, like, I got to get there. Philly, Colorado is also 10.5. And then we got all these 7.5 games today, right? Padres, Yankees are 7.5. Cleveland, LA is. Again, the public being all over the over. I'm not interested in that Milwaukee game. So, and agree that bullpen is trash. Like, that's the problem with the Angels, right? Like, their bullpen like isn't good. So, that's a problem. Generally every day, the Rockies, the Angels, and the Padres, right? Like, they all got really bad pins on this main slate. So, again, that's, but if you get, know that you probably won't get that win. You might tonight, but, you can definitely get get some quality innings out of him. So, all right, who do you like, Smitty, going yard today?
I'm going with Joe Adele today.
Ooh, I like a little Angel. I told you guys earlier I like Pete. I think there's some value on Pete. And then I like Steer today. I think Steer's mispriced at FanDuel. It's off there. You can get it for over. He's plus 420 at FanDuel. He's like 300 at DK. So, yeah, I don't mind Pilar for a homer either. It's a good environment. And then, I will say, man, like Korea, Max, Buxton, like if you want to do some stuff, that 17 miles an hour wind is no joke, guys. That's the difference between a fly ball, like a routine fly out, and a ball going out. So there's a lot of wind in Mini today. Awesome. Well, let's go have a good Friday night, boys and girls, and can't wait to see your winning screenshots.